This method is used to replace a damaged edge contact with a new edge contact. The new edge contact is bonded to the circuit board surface using liquid epoxy. The minimum skill level needed to complete this procedure reliably is advanced. The conformance level reached when this procedure is completed properly is medium. See the web page for a list of the tools and materials required to complete this procedure. The procedure follows. Step 1. Clean the area. Step 2. Remove the defective edge contact and a short length of the connecting circuit. The heat from a soldering iron will allow the old contact to be removed more easily. Step 3. Use the knife and scrape off any epoxy residue, contamination, or burned material from the board surface. Use caution. Abrasion operations can generate electrostatic charges. Step 4. Scrape off any solder mask or coating from the connecting circuit. Step 5. Clean the area. Step 6. Apply a small amount of liquid flux to the connection area on the board surface and tin with solder. Clean the area. The length of the overlap solder connection should be a minimum of 2 times the circuit width. Step 7. The area for the new edge contact on the board surface must be smooth and flat. If internal fibers of the board are exposed or deep scratches exist in the surface, they should be repaired. Refer to the appropriate procedure. Step 8. Select a new edge contact that most closely matches the edge contact to be replaced. Step 9. Cut out and trim the new edge contact. Cut out from the plated side. Cut the length to provide the maximum allowable joint if lap soldering. Minimum 2 times the circuit width. Leave the new edge contact extra long. The excess material will be trimmed after curing. Note: the new replacement edge contact may be trimmed from copper sheet. Step 10. Mix the epoxy and apply a small amount to the surface where the new contact will be placed. Step 11. Place a piece of high-temperature tape over the top surface of the new edge contact. Position the new edge contact on the circuit board surface using the tape to aid in alignment. Note: allow the edge contact to overhang the edge of the circuit board. Leave the tape in place during the bonding cycle. Step 12. Cure the epoxy per Procedure 2.7 Epoxy mixing and handling. Caution: some components may be sensitive to high temperature. Step 13. After the epoxy has cured, remove the high-temperature tape used for alignment. Carefully clean and inspect the new pad for proper alignment. Note: additional epoxy can be applied around the perimeter of the new edge contact to provide additional bond strength. Step 14. If the new edge contact has a connecting circuit, apply a small amount of liquid flux to the lap solder joint connection area and solder the circuit from the new edge contact to the circuit on the circuit board surface. Use minimal flux and solder to ensure a reliable connection. High-temperature tape may be placed over the top of the new edge contact to prevent excess solder overflow. Note: if the configuration permits, the overlap solder joint connection should be a minimum of 3 mm from the related termination. This gap will minimize the possibility of simultaneous reflow during soldering operations. Refer to 7.1 Soldering Basics. Step 15. Remove the tape and clean the area. Step 16. Trim the extending edge of the new edge contact with a file. File parallel to the beveled edge until the excess material has been removed. Step 17. If sealing the lap solder joint connection is required, mix epoxy and coat the lap solder joint connections. Cure the epoxy per Procedure 2.7 Epoxy mixing and handling. Step 18. If plating is required, refer to the appropriate procedure. Step 19. Apply surface coating to match prior coating as required. Evaluation. Step 1. Visual examination, measurement of new pad width and spacing. Step 2. Electrical continuity measurement.